Hey guys, welcome to Manifesting Better. I'm back with another video and another topic that needs to be addressed. I also have an Instagram account, the link for that is in the description box below. Coaching is also available, the link for that too is in the description box below.
Hey guys, hope you all are well. And as promised in the last video, I'm back with another success story. Now, this success story is going to be mostly for the people who come. A lot of men come to me and ask me that, you know what, Karan, that I keep seeing content on your page. I see that you post so many success stories, but most of these success stories are from women. Why don't you post success stories from men? Like, do men not manifest their specific person, and do men not want better lives? And they focus on self development? They definitely do. Being a man myself, I know that men are into manifestation, and men are also spiritual and are also applying the manifestation principles in their life, and this guy is one of those examples. Now, according to me, this is still not the full success story. Even though we got movement, we still haven't, in my opinion, received the full things that we can, because I know the potential of this person, and I know that he must be listening to this success story knowing that I am right in the regard that there is only upward from here, that he is only going to get more and more results from here, and that he's only going to grow from here. But this is actually a very interesting success story. Also, this is a story for people who are in no contact situations, because this person was in a no contact situation, and this was after chasing, after begging, after running after the person, everything. So let's first start by reading the success story. Hey Karan, major update. She reached out and she is asking me to meet for lunch. We are planning for some place tomorrow. I was shook when I saw her text. In fact, I saw it a whole day later cause I had archived her chat. But I am still grounded. Of course she was going to text. Knew it all along. I delayed it by just not feeling like it was already here, and without working on my self-concept. But something happened last week, and man, I started loving myself to a whole new level. Probably the day I danced, but I still have some intrusive negative thoughts, but they seem smaller now. I'll keep you posted, and thank you so much for everything that you do. So let's first dissect the success story, and then we will understand what the situation was. So first, I got a few comments from people saying that no, this success story is fake. You post fake success stories because once you archive someone's chat and you just, like, when they text you, their chat comes up. I'm sorry to say, but that's not always true. There is this thing in your phone which is called settings, through which you can keep someone archived. In my phone, I have many contacts archived, and when someone from an archive texts me, I don't get the text. I only have this column on my WhatsApp above which says archive, and if there is one text from a person in my archive chats, it starts to say archive 1 instead of putting the chat above. So this is for the people who were saying that I post fake success stories. I have too many success stories to post to be able to manufacture and post fake success stories. This success story is from August, and it's because since then there has been a lot of movement, and that would be coming up in future success stories. Because I post success stories slowly, I don't post them all together at once, because there are so many of them that I have. In fact, the other day I completed 11 success story highlights on my Instagram. So this is just because you have been in that. I understand where you must be coming from. It is okay that you are susceptible, and that's good. Critical thinking is good, but I have no time for that in my life. So coming to this, when he says that we are planning to meet tomorrow, I was shook when I saw her text, but then I'm still grounded. That's a good thing. This is one of the parts of the success story that I really liked, because I saw that even after receiving the success, even after getting into that place, this guy was still grounded. In fact, he was in himself, which was the major part of the equation. Another thing that he said is that probably the day that I danced, that was one task that I gave him. Like, he was a client for a longer period of time, and in my monthly and 3 monthly coaching, I give tasks, small tasks on a daily basis. Usually they are self-introspectory tasks, they are small tasks like these. So I gave him a task to, you know what, dance your heart out, because that's not something that you do and it will help you. Okay, so let's first understand this guy's situation. So this guy was in a relationship with this person, this girl, and they were in a relationship for a while. But over a period of time, and this is where a lot of people get into manifestation, is that their relationship was not going well. It was deteriorating, and what had started happening was that this guy was too focused on his work. He was not having a good career life, and because of which he was very stuck, and he was ignoring the other aspects of his relationship. He was starting to take the person for granted, he was starting to take the relationship for granted, and he was not showing up in the same way that he used to when he actually got together with this person. And of course, he's not the only one who was at fault in this situation, because the woman in this situation was also pulling away. She was also not acting in the same manner that she should. The relationship was not going good. And then they broke up. And of course, after they broke up, this guy did everything that he could to chase her and get her back into his life, because in that moment, he was in that feeling of guilt that, oh, you know what, because of me, the relationship ended. And when he was in that state, he was consistently trying to make things happen, consistently trying to get her back through the chasing, through consistently calling her, please give me one more chance, things like that. And this is not to, this is in no way, shape, or form a hit towards the people who have done this and who have chased, because I have chased in my life many, many times. But one thing I have understood as a coach and as someone who has actually went through this transformation journey for myself is to know the fact that chasing, trying to convince someone is never going to work. And I know that in that moment when we are in that broken feeling, that it just feels that I just want that quick fix. I just want to convince this person to come back and I will fix everything. From tomorrow, I will be a different person. From tomorrow, I will show up and I will do all these things. And a lot of times people do show up and do all these things, but it's not substantially long term, because it doesn't sustain. Because that change is actually not a change, it's a temporary thing that you have developed just to pretend that you have changed because you are feeling bad in that moment. This guy in his life came from a lot of father wounds. His father was not emotionally available. In fact, like, his father's relationship was not in regards to how it should be. His father had cheated on his mom, and he did not particularly like him, and he had left him for the other family. And as they were going forward in that situation and that relationship, of course, I'm not telling you the full details, because I can only tell you as much as I'm allowed to. But what happened was that this situation was going on where, as he was growing up, he did not have a very good masculine figure in his life, and he did not know how to actually show up in relationships. So because his father chose an unhealthy way to get out when the relationship wasn't working, he did too. But the thing is, he was very stuck on the fact that I will never cheat on my partner, because that is something he had seen his mom go through. And based on that, he did not ever want to get involved in a situation that way. Now, as he was getting out of that and as he was turning away from that situation, because he did not see his parents having any outlet of healthy regulation of conflict, he took the way that he thought he can, and he just backed out and he just started focusing on his career and things in that side, because that was the easier way for him, because he did not know how to solve the issues, and he did not know if he wanted to walk away from this relationship or whatever, because he did not know how to handle it. So when we are growing up, this is how our childhood conditioning can affect our life moving forward. When you don't see two adults at a young age having healthy arguments and dealing with them in a healthy way, because arguments are honestly something that you cannot ignore in any relationship. There are going to be arguments, but the way to healthy conflict resolution is what teaches you and is what grows the relationships and is what connects the relationships together. After this person had ended, he also was struggling in his career, and he was showing all the signs that were present there, which were showing a lack of knowing what masculinity is supposed to be. This was one of his major points, that honestly, Karan, I don't know how to actually act like a man in these situations. And he was actually like, this is a very masculine thing to do, to accept that I don't know how to do this. And that's actually a masculine thing to do, because that's the learning that you're wanting to develop. So that is something that kudos to him, that he asked for help and he went ahead with it. After a lot of chasing, like, of course he tried to, we focused on a few things. First, we focused on understanding what masculinity is, and I will tell you the exact activity that I would want you guys to do. Now, we did another version of it, but I would want you guys to do this activity, because that's a refined version of it. It's way more helpful and it's way more advanced. And if you cannot come up with 40 points, which I will tell you to, then you should spend time to research it. Just sit down and ask yourself, what does a healthy relationship look like? Or what does masculinity look like? Or how does healthy conflict resolution look like? Write down 40 points on it. Now, the thing about 40 points is that you will be able to write down at least 10 to 15. That's something everyone can do. 40 is a number that is a little bit outside of your comfort zone and is going to be far to reach. And you will run out of ideas with your own mind. That's the point. Your mind did not have the answers. That's why we were looking for them. And then you will start to find the answers on YouTube, on other people. And I actually made a video before where I talked about healthy relationships and how to find out what they are. The same principle goes here. I will actually link the video down below so that you can check it out. Another thing was that he was enabled. Now, enabling means that he had a lot of insecurities, and in that moment, he was projecting that insecurities onto his partner. And in that moment, instead of actually stopping him, his partner took those insecurities and enabled him, which means his partner basically said, "You don't have to work on yourself. I will work on you for you," which enabled him into thinking that that is what his partner will always do. But his partner won't always do that, because at some point, the enabling will always stop. Even if you are the enabled or you are the enabler, the enabling will always stop. I will make different content on enabling, don't worry. Then, because he was so full of guilt, because he did not know that a relationship ends from both ends, he was self-punishing by chasing and by trying to change and bring drastic changes in his life, which he was thinking that he was doing by doing all the things that his partner said that he should, which means posting on Instagram, being overly available, doing all these things. But overcompensation is not the way to go. In fact, in that moment, it's very important to still keep holding on to the identity that you truly want to build. Now, does that mean that there will be things that your partner will want you to do that you should do? Yes, but it also means that be yourself, but be the most authentic version of yourself without hiding away and without actually running away from who you truly are. As we worked on it, we worked on a lot about his father wounds, which we did through inner child meditations. Then we worked a lot on defining what healthy relationships are, how healthy relationships work. Then we worked a lot on forgiveness, because he was actually punishing himself so that he can get to a level where he could understand that it was not all his fault, and that when a relationship ends, it's not only one person's fault all the time, right? And once he started realizing that and he started working on it, he also stopped chasing. But this is a very important distinction to make. Just because he worked on his subconscious beliefs does not mean that he did not have a hard time stopping the chase. Just because he was working on himself doesn't mean that stopping the chase was very, very easy for him to do. It was still a hard decision. It was just that his beliefs were finally in alignment to what he wanted to do. A lot of people ask me, I will stop chasing when my subconscious mind is reprogrammed. No, you will still have to stop chasing consciously. Chasing is not an impulsive act, it's a decision. It's not something that you're doing without knowing. It's something that you know and you still do. So you can stop chasing. After working on him in that regard and stopping the self-punishment, he honestly started falling in love with life again. He started doing all the things for himself. He said that I bought a bike for myself. That's amazing. He said that I have always wanted to do that, but because of all the things and because of everything that I did not want to do, I have finally purchased it. I have been saving for it for a long time, and I have finally purchased it. His career started to grow, and eventually this person started reaching out. Now, this was the first text that this person started reaching out. He said that after that, this person was still reaching out. And although we still want the marriage, which was our end result, but this just solidified his ideas towards the fact that even in a no contact situation, just working on myself and changing my perception of myself will be enough to change my perceptions of the whole situation. Of course, there is additional work to be done sometimes, which we did and which we will moving forward. But that doesn't mean that working on yourself is a negotiable. It's a non-negotiable. So if you are someone who's in a non-committal relationship or in a no contact situation, or who feels that how can I get better, or can it even get better? This should be an indication that it should, because success stories like these should tell you that working on yourself will always have huge upside and will always have huge benefits. And that is what you should be focusing on. Also, it's important to understand that just because he had these issues, that doesn't mean that you will. You can have different issues. You can have different things to work on. So learn from this. If you feel that there are aspects of this situation that are applicable to you, please take them, apply them in your life. Work on forgiveness. Stop self-punishing. Stop with the guilt without any reason. You are a work in progress, but you actually need to put the work to get the progress. So that's something that you need to focus on. And yeah, I wish that you are next. And please tell me if you have any questions in relation to this success story. Please leave them down in the comments below. I will try to make different content on it, and I will see you guys in the next video.
Click the like button if you liked the video. Subscribe and turn the notifications on for more such content. Comment down your video suggestions and I will see you guys in the next one.